I recently interviewed Colin Tompkinsberg of Food Maven, a company that distributes food that might otherwise go to waste, or as Colin stated, their goal is that all food is used with good purpose. I asked him what common excuses he hears, and his response is a great example of number 6 on our list. It's against our policy. Let's listen to a snippet of our interview.
When explaining our model and we focus on food that is oversupply, out of spec, we get a reaction from a chef quite typically that, we've always bought food from a normal food distributor where they just carry the normal products and it's always consistent. So kind of this, we've always done it this way before. You're someone that's completely new to the space. You're doing things differently. I don't understand why I want to work with you.
Anyone who is trying to sell a product, a service, or an idea that falls outside the range of normal will likely be met with resistance. Listen to how Colin put it.
That is a bit like trying to stick a round peg into a square when it comes to dealing with chefs.
His experience highlights several problems with policies. They can be misguided in creation, misunderstood in interpretation, and sometimes just downright non-existent. Those unwritten policies are the most problematic and might play out in the form of comments like, well, that's just how chef likes it. When it comes to getting past a real or perceived policy that is blocking positive impact, you need to provide an impetus to get someone to stop and take a moment, rethink their policy, align their needs with your ideas. Here's what Colin had to say about that.
Basically, just try to focus on menus that may be changing. So if they have any part of their menu, like their special of the day, or if they have appetizers that changed, or anything of the likes, or if they do any catering out of their restaurant, really trying to just highlight and bring that part of their operation to the conversation to see and show how you actually are changing a portion of your business and the ingredients that you use to some frequency. And so, where you want to make a great environmental impact as well as reduce your food costs, that's, where we can really come in and help you out.
Now, the message here is not that policies are bad, just that they can be limiting, confusing, maybe even unnecessary, and often unwritten. When we take a preference and we turn it into a policy, we might unintentionally hinder opportunities for positive triple bottom line impact. It can be a challenging conversation, as Colin knows all too well.
In talking about food and being old, the notion of old is not consistent and not shared across the same categories of food across states. There's no federal regulation to actually designate any consistent use of even the best by date or use by date. And when that date might be, that's all set by the actual manufacturer or by the farmer, by the grower. And so, it's just a much more fluid conversation than black and white being, is it past some arbitrary date or is it before some arbitrary date? And it's really more about, is this food tasty? Is it nutritious? And does it work for the meal that I want to serve someone?
From time to time, pull out a policy and question whether it's still the best and most relevant practice for your organization. It's healthy to re-examine the reasoning behind a policy in light of new research, advancements in technology, or a desire to balance business goals with social and environmental outcomes. You can watch the full interview and read more about this story by following the link that accompanies the video. And if you have a story of facing objections and overcoming them in your efforts to make the world a better place, please share that with us. We'd love to feature you in one of our series.